NASA has recently declared that the time has come to focus more on Venus following new discoveries regarding the possibility of life on the planet. If you examine the historical records of NASA from the 1960s, you will find that the agency once referred to Venus as a planet from hell. In comparison, Mars had gained more interest as a potential target for investigation. Harsh descriptions of distant planets were not uncommon during one phase of the intense space race, during a time when the Soviet Union was involved in sending expensive missions to Venus, a planet that appeared almost devoid of any potential for supporting life. Despite this, the Soviet space program did not abandon its Venera missions up until the end of the Soviet Empire. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson has played a key role in aiding our comprehension of why the Soviets were so captivated by Venus. Join us as we explore the declassified images of Venus captured by the Soviet Union. The collapse of the Soviet Union was significant for a variety of reasons. Not only did it have an impact on the global political landscape, but it also hid many secrets. The Soviet Union was famous for its secrecy as a result of running one of the most sophisticated intelligence agencies in the world, avoiding speaking about potential extraterrestrial encounters. Consequently, the former superpower kept numerous secrets hidden. Before the United States took the lead in planetary exploration, the Soviet Union was at the forefront of the space race. While both the US and Soviet space programs had successes and failures, their primary focus remained the mysterious Venus. Venus is a hostile planet in Russian called Venera, which also became the name of the Soviet mission that lasted from 1961 to 1983. This took place during the same time as when the United States was focused on getting to the moon. Strategically, the Soviets decided to focus their efforts on utilizing Venus resources during the space race. It should come as no surprise that the Soviet Union poured so much money into Venus. Did they think of the world as a possible location for a military base, or were they possibly exploring the idea of colonization? Following research into the planet for any signs of life, the exact reasons behind their intense focus on Venus remain a mystery, much like the Soviet Union itself. A major participant in the Cold War, much of their goals were kept secret. In fact, much of what we know about their Venus missions comes from declassified or unarchived documents. Even then, locating the actual motivations behind their relentless efforts is difficult. The Soviets didn't just land on Venus once, twice, or 3 times. 28 rockets were launched altogether, targeting the planet, with 13 successfully entering Venus's atmosphere. Of these, 8 missions managed to land successfully. These ambitious and complex missions positioned the Soviet Union as a leader in space exploration, while the United States was a close competitor. Its focus was more on satellite technology and innovative infrastructure, while the Soviets, on the other hand, were more devoted to investigating the potential for life on distant planets. Their obsession with Venus stemmed from their pursuit of technological know-how and scientific supremacy. Most history books may not highlight this, but the Soviet space program sent the first probe into the atmosphere of a planet beyond Earth. It was also the first country to achieve a soft landing on another planet and the first to return pictures and sound recordings from another planet's surface. While these revolutionary achievements are often overshadowed by later achievements of the United States, they were pivotal milestones in space exploration. In 1992, the Soviet Space Agency was officially dissolved following the USSR's demise and was subsequently re-established under the new name of Roscosmos. Sadly, many historical records were lost or destroyed during this change. That is why several aspects of the Soviet space program remain shrouded in mystery. Even though we might never fully comprehend why so many spacecraft were launched by the Soviets into Venus' atmosphere, likely their decision was influenced by cost-effectiveness as opposed to scientific curiosity. While the Soviet Union was undoubtedly interested in exploring Venus, they were also searching for the presence of water, solar radiation, and other environmental conditions. Without these missions, it would have been difficult for scientists to learn more about Venus' extreme temperatures and thick atmosphere. Today, many cosmologists still argue that Venus is too hostile to support life, with temperatures hot enough to melt lead and an atmosphere dense with carbon dioxide. It's easy to dismiss the possibility of life on Venus, but to overlook the pioneering efforts of the Soviet space program is to disregard an important chapter in history. For the Soviets, Venus was well worth investigating, even if only in part of their broader goal to fuel the space race. The exploration of planets like Mars was not completely impossible, but it was a much more costly endeavor than launching missions to Venus. The distance that separates Earth from other celestial bodies played a key role in deciding where resources should be directed. Venus weighs only 40 million kilograms on average away from Earth, while Mars is approximately 250 million kilometers away. This vast difference in distance is a major factor behind the high costs of Mars exploration. Additionally, the United States' dominance over the global economy made Mars exploration more feasible for them than for the Soviet Union. According to reports, Soviet missions to Venus lacked dependability and faced significant technical issues. None of their spacecraft were designed to cover such vast distances between planets. Additionally, there were numerous instances where rocket communication was disrupted. Given these obstacles, it makes sense that the Soviet space program would choose to focus on a nearer planet that offered a higher probability of success. Despite concentrating solely on the technical setbacks, this ignores the larger story of the Venera missions. When the Soviets began launching missions to Venus, the United States was still largely focused on reaching the Moon. NASA's Venus missions in the 1960s were plagued by failures, which led to the phenomenon known as the Venus curse. Every time NASA launched a probe toward Venus, it was unsuccessful. The Soviet Union, at this time, saw a chance to make the most of America's obstacles and achieve significant victory. The Soviets were in the space race and accelerated their exploration efforts. Venus saw the planet as an important milestone in the race to space, despite the Soviets' limited resources. They were insistent on launching a number of successful missions to Venus while the United States focused on the Moon. The hellish planet label was attached to Venus in popular media, often used by the United States to minimize Soviet influence. This negative portrayal of Venus did not deter the Soviet space program, however. Their goal was to demonstrate their superiority over the United States. Although the Soviet Union's Venus missions are not as widely acknowledged today, they were highly ambitious and advanced for their time. The Venera missions marked the beginning of the space age. Starting in the 1950s, the Soviets developed the technology required to transport a spacecraft to Venus. Over the next 30 years, they built and launched a series of interplanetary probes as part of the collapse of the Soviet Union marked the end of an era for the Venera program, but its achievements remain a significant part of space exploration history. The technology and data gathered from these missions provided invaluable insights into the conditions of Venus, laying the foundation for future planetary exploration. After the Soviet Union dissolved, the Russian space agency, Roscosmos, inherited the legacy of its predecessors. However, much of the detailed information about the Venera missions was lost or obscured by the political and social upheavals of the 1990s. Despite this, the legacy of the Soviet space program's exploration of Venus continues to inspire modern space exploration efforts. The success of the Venera program highlighted the determination and ingenuity of the Soviet scientists and engineers who made it possible. These missions demonstrated that even in the harshest environments, space exploration could be conducted, and important data could be collected. The Soviets' ability to land on Venus and transmit data back to Earth was a major milestone, rivaling the achievements of the United States during the same period. While NASA's interest in Venus continued to evolve, especially with the advent of newer technologies and missions like the Magellan spacecraft in the 1990s, the Soviet Union's contributions in the earlier decades were a critical part of expanding our understanding of Venus. Today, with ongoing missions such as NASA's Veritas and ESA's Envision, Venus is once again in the spotlight, as scientists continue to study its mysterious surface and atmosphere. The Venera missions remain a testament to the ambition and scientific prowess of the Soviet space program. They also remind us of the complexities and challenges of space exploration, and how international competition, technological innovation, and a drive for knowledge have shaped the course of humanity's journey into the cosmos. As we look to the future, the exploration of Venus is more important than ever. Whether searching for signs of past life, studying its extreme climate, or investigating the potential for future exploration, Venus offers a wealth of scientific questions yet to be answered. The legacy of the Soviet space program, and the lessons learned from the Venera missions, continue to play an essential role in shaping our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The Venera mission's legacy continues today as Roscosmos and NASA prepare for the joint Venera mission, scheduled for the late 2020s or early 2030s. This new mission aims to explore Venus's environment, geology, and history in the hopes of finding evidence of the past or present habitability. The path laid by the Venera missions continues to influence the future of Venus exploration, as well as missions to Mars and beyond. Their contributions continue to shape space exploration's future. The upcoming Venera mission, a collaboration between Roscosmos and NASA, opens a brand new and exciting chapter in the ongoing exploration of Venus. Set to launch in the late 2020s or early 2030s, this mission will focus on studying the planet's atmosphere, geological history, and possible indicators of habitability. The spacecraft will be outfitted with an orbiter, a lander, and possibly an inflatable structure designed to explore Venus in unprecedented depth. The Venera mission not only aims to enhance our understanding of Venus, but also underscores the lasting legacy of the Venera program. The Soviet-era Venera program was one of the most ambitious and significant space exploration efforts ever undertaken. As we look forward, the lessons learned from the Venera missions are still relevant to current and future attempts at planetary exploration. Technological advances made possible by the Soviet space program, such as the creation of long-lasting materials capable of withstanding extreme temperatures and pressures, have been vital for subsequent missions to Venus, Mars, and other planets in our solar system. Innovations in space design and instrumentation laid the foundation for modern space exploration and continue to inform mission planning, technology development, and operational strategies. The Venera program had an effect that went beyond technological and scientific achievement. Space during the Cold War was about more than just science. It was a way to assert superiority in ideology. The achievements of the Venera missions provided evidence of the Soviet Union's technological capabilities and established a crucial milestone in the United States' rivalry with the Soviet Union. The international community closely followed these milestones, recognizing that the Venera missions played a crucial role in humanity's expanding understanding of the universe. Each success, such as Venera 7's soft landing on Venus in 1970, was not only a scientific achievement, but also a powerful political statement. Despite the challenges of operating in the Soviet Union's harsh environment on Venus, the space program's persistence and ingenuity allowed for triumph over technical obstacles. Operating in Venus's hostile conditions, including extreme temperatures of up to 450 degrees Celsius (842 degrees Fahrenheit), intense atmospheric pressure, and a thick, corrosive atmosphere primarily composed of sulfuric acid clouds, was extremely challenging for spacecraft. Nevertheless, the perseverance and ingenuity of Soviet scientists and engineers were key to overcoming these challenges, allowing for the successful collection of important data about Venus's surface and atmosphere. The achievements of the Venera missions played a crucial role in deepening our understanding of Venus's inhospitable conditions, from its scorching surface temperatures to its toxic atmosphere. These missions provided invaluable insights into the planet's extreme climate, dominated by carbon dioxide, and its geological features, including volcanic plains and mountainous terrains. The panoramic images captured by later missions, such as Venera 13 and Venera 14, furthered our understanding of Venus's surface composition, revealing its possible past and geological history. One of the most significant contributions of the Venera missions was their ability to capture the first-ever images of Venus's surface, offering a glimpse into a world previously obscured. The achievement of the Venera program proved that it was possible to gather meaningful scientific data from Venus in such a hostile environment. These photographs revealed a rugged, alien landscape vastly different from anywhere on Earth. The success of the Venera missions demonstrated that, despite the difficult circumstances, valuable data could be gathered, pushing the limits of human understanding and expanding our knowledge of the solar system. However, not all missions were successful. Some Soviet spacecraft failed to reach Venus or encountered technical malfunctions that prevented them from transmitting data back to Earth. The challenges of operating in such extreme conditions, coupled with the technological limitations of the time, meant that some missions did not achieve their objectives. Nevertheless, the determination of the Soviet space program in the face of these setbacks is a testament to the dedication and resilience of the scientists and engineers involved in the Venera project. In addition to their technical achievements, the Venera missions had significant geopolitical and cultural implications. The success of the Soviet Union space program during the Cold War was a source of national pride and a representation of technological and ideological superiority. Each successful mission to Venus represented not just a scientific achievement, but also a political victory in the ideological struggle between the Soviet Union and the United States. The space race was a battle for global influence, and the Venera missions were crucial to this competition. While the Soviet space program is often overshadowed by NASA's accomplishments, the Venera missions remain an important part of history. The technological aspects of space exploration, scientific discoveries, and political implications of the Venera program have had a lasting impact on our understanding of Venus and space exploration in general. These missions demonstrated the potential for interplanetary travel and paved the way for future missions to Venus, Mars, and beyond. Looking ahead, the legacy of the Venera missions continues to motivate new generations of scientists, engineers, and explorers. The lessons learned from these missions, as well as developments in technology and knowledge gained over decades of exploration, will guide future missions to distant planets, including Venus. The spirit of the Venera program, marked by boldness, perseverance, and innovation, continues to drive the ongoing effort to comprehend our solar system and the universe beyond. As space agencies around the world continue to push the boundaries of exploration, the legacy of the Venera missions remains a guiding force. The boldness and perseverance that define the Soviet space program's approach to Venus exploration are qualities that still resonate today. With advancements in technology, such as more durable materials, improved instrumentation, and enhanced computational power, future missions to Venus and beyond will be able to tackle challenges that were once unimaginable. The discoveries made by the Venera missions serve as a benchmark for future planetary exploration. Venus, often called Earth's twin due to its similar size and proximity to the Sun, continues to intrigue scientists with its extreme conditions. Understanding Venus is critical not only for learning more about our solar system but also for gaining insights into the potential habitability of exoplanets that orbit other stars. The international collaborations that are becoming increasingly common in space exploration echo the spirit of the Venera missions, which, though undertaken by the Soviet Union, were part of the broader human pursuit of knowledge. These collaborations combine the expertise of different nations and enable resources to be shared in order to tackle the most difficult and complex missions. As we look forward to the next decades of space exploration, the Venera missions will be remembered not only for the scientific and technological breakthroughs they provided but also for their role in a pivotal era of space exploration during the Cold War. Their successes continue to inspire new generations of space enthusiasts and professionals, proving that even the most hostile environments can yield extraordinary discoveries when faced with determination and ingenuity. In the end, the Venera missions exemplify the tenacity of the human spirit, pushing the limits of exploration and inspiring future generations to continue exploring the unknown frontiers of space. With each new mission to Venus and other distant planets, humanity takes another step closer to understanding the mysteries of our solar system, and perhaps, one day, the wider universe.